Later, you let me know when we're live. We're live? This is episode, what number is it? 141, and we got the King, Fat Joe, in the building.
Hello.
The biggest. The biggest.
The bigger.
Yeah. Listen.
Bam Bigelow.
So yesterday you had the B.E.T Awards you hosted. Didn't air yet.
Nope.
B.E.T HipHop Awards. Executive produced.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you hosted it.
Yeah, that's really the executive producer is nuts, because I'm so when like this, I want this to be your most successful podcast ever. Hey. So whenever I commit to working with people, I just want it to be successful at all times. So, you know, being that I was hosting, we start getting on the Zooms with the Jesse Collins and all the big bosses at B.E.T. And then I'll be like, yo, we got to do this, and we got to do that, and we got to do it. And then it was like, you know what, this shit sound like you executive producing this. Like, I said, I just want it to be right. You know what I mean? Because whenever you do something, you want it to win, you know. And so your name is only as good as your last win in this business. So, you know, they decided to say, yo, you want to executive produce? I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And so, you know, it's an honor, man. You know, I think about, you know, no matter how much money I got, no matter success I got, I'm still a kid from the projects in the Bronx. And I come up with 4 chicken wing and fried rice. And so that's it. Anything I get past that, I made it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So who think, you know, you go from talent shows, Showtime at the Apollo, that's how I started. I won the amateur night 4 weeks in a row, to now you're the host of the B.E.T HipHop Awards. And you come out and it's all your favorite rappers and all your friends and all. It's an ill feeling. You know, it's the only place my wife and my daughter go. They don't go nowhere else. No shows, no nothing. But they love it there. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a real big sense of pride to host the Hip Hop Awards, man. It's big time honor. And this year was the 50th anniversary, so we honored like Marley Marl. So, you know, you got Eric B. and Rakim, you got LL. Then we did the Jermaine Dupri. I don't want to take nothing from his show because he's from Atlanta, so it's the super cheat code. But he put his foot in the act like, he tore the paint off the fucking roof. Like that show, Jermaine Dupri and them boys going crazy. Like I was just like, it was a beautiful night. Beautiful night.
I could tell. I knew it would be something dope. I was wondering if it was going to be on air, because I'm like, damn, we got it. But, you know, they only get the little exclusive right now. And
it's not on air yet. Yeah. It's not on air.
But it's safe to say then, because we got you up here the day after.
Yeah.
And you just hosted the awards that yesterday's prices.
It's not today's price. Yeah. You better fucking believe that.
That's straight.
And that's what we try to do, man. I'm gonna spit some game for your people watching. It's always a form of like elevation. It's always like raising your price, seeing I constantly have these sit downs with my team. And I say, listen, man, we was just with the vice president. We hosting the price got to go up, you know. But it could be as unrealistic as possible, or it could be, yo, you gotta see where you at. You gotta check the thermometer. It's like a stock market, you know. And of course, you want to make more and more money than you can make. So you know, you gotta be like, yo, you know what? It's a little bit different. Fat Joe's the new Snoop Dogg. You know, he's
that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, he the New York Snoop Dogg. That's what we doing. He's the blueprint. That's what I'm looking. That man got Chinese French fries commercials and got fucking 24-hour workout commercials. Yeah. He got Corona and Bud Light. Bud Light. Yeah. And so the way I look at myself, is I try to think of myself as a race car. And so you see the race car, they got beer, soda, juice, oil, gas. Yeah. They just selling anything. So that's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? We getting behind these brands, these products, and we moving, man.
So my question to you, like what I'd like our viewers to understand about what we do, it's like if we're chilling at, SLS and we got some shit going on, and all of a sudden Fat Joe walks in the building. You know what I mean? You sit down and you just start kicking it with us, and we just start chopping it up. I don't like when the interviews are like too, what about this and how about that? You know what I mean? I like it being real. We're chilling down, smart. We're chilling and we're kicking it. You know what I'm saying? What I like to know and what I always want the viewers to see is, how did this all begin for you in the music industry? Like, what was it growing up in that household with you to get you?
There's no way for you to really truly understand and for people to understand, because it was a time where there was no social media, there was no Instagram, there was no Twitter. It was a time where there wasn't even a rap video. It was a time where hip-hop was only heard for 2 hours a week on one radio station in New York. So if you wanted to hear it in Miami, your cousin had to record it in New York and drive it down to Miami. That's how Primo heard so much hip-hop. His cousins used to drive to Texas. Premier is really from like Houston, Texas. Oh, shit. It's just that. And so when you think of Fat Joe, I grew up in the Bronx. Now, what does that mean? We in Plantation, Florida right now, right? But there's also Sunrise, Tamarack, North Miami. Yeah. I'm from the place. This is the problem. This is the problem. This is what touches nerves and Twitter and all that. It's like, you cannot, you're lying. If you go, yo, do me a favor, take me to where Fat Joe grew up at, right? They definitely know where he grew up. So they'll pull up to my projects, right? But if you went another day and say, take me where hip hop was invented, that fucking same car pull up right on that block. Yeah. So me as a kid, I come outside, I see Melly Mel, Grandmaster Flash playing basketball. Ruby D, first Latino MC with the Fantastic Romantic, playing softball with his brothers. Fucking Shy Rock, the first female MC ever from around the corner. Like, it was just like hip-hop heaven. You know, this is where the shit was invented. So I was a break dancer. Terror Squad is really a graffiti crew. Word. That's how we started, writing graffiti, and then we turned into tats. And as an MC, I just always wanted to be like my brother. And so my brother was old enough to go to the jams. So he would bring me back like the Zulu Nation battles and all the legendary battles. So he would bring back the cassette. And he would play it for me on the little boombox, and then he would stop it, and he'd be like, yo, right there, they was telling them to back off the ropes because the crowd was getting too crazy. They had to back up off the ropes. So, yo, they was about to stop it, Joe. I'm like, who? He's like, Busy B. He was telling them right on it. I'm like, yo, like, it was like I was just born into hip-hop. Now, my father's Cuban. My mother's Puerto Rican. We like the black Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? We born in a neighborhood where it's 90% black. You know what I'm saying? So my mom was listening to Stephanie Mills and all that. My father was Spanish. You know what I mean? So he really did, he knew what hip hop was, but he did not understand me on the
so he had the
kitchen
Jetty
writing around. Yeah, he was, Jetty Rivera was my era. Yeah. He had that real Cuban shit on from back, Lucia, no me deja por favor. He had that type of shit on. He had the real shit. The shit, you know, the Cuban salsa always had like the flutes. So when you hear the flutes, you know that's that old school shit. So he really ain't understand me rapping. You know what I'm saying? But my mom's, she more, you know, she grew up in the same projects maybe 30, 40 years before I came. So, you know, she knew what time it was. Yeah. But it was still a dream. Like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have no way of. And then Lord Finesse, you know, I grew up in my projects. Lord Finesse is from my same projects. Diamond D and Showbiz is. So Lord Finesse told me he gonna be a rapper. And I'm like, yeah, all right, this, that. And the next thing I know, I turn on the radio and his music is on the radio. That's all I needed. And so that's why I come to podcasts like this or something, because it's very important that we be transparent with our wins and loss and our journey, because somebody needs to see that it's possible. And so I'm one of those guys that have to see it to be possible. So I'm looking at a clip just now, Rick Ross saying he spent $100 million in the last 6 months. I'm not mad at him, and I'm not jealous of him. He let me know that could happen.
Yeah.
You know, so my lens never looked from a lens of jealousy. It's always been an inspiration. One of my friends pull up with a crazy fly car. I'm like, yo, I could get that. I could get those. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about. That's why I be so transparent, you know what I mean, and let everybody know, you know, what I went through in life or what I'm going through in life so that they can learn from it and know that they can come up off that.
Fire. So this is real history. And like, I feel like for you and I, Chris, it's now every week, it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this was going to be hard to top. It's hard to top, Fat Joe.
For sure.
This is history right here, digging into crates. You feel me? Literally.
Hello.
And so, what was it?
Digging in the crates. All about my paper. The haters, they cannot.
That flow.
So my brother and I, like, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Okay.
And my brother and I, it was always like, you know, we had the big pun, Fat Joe. It's like, you know, me and my brother are brothers, you know what I mean? So we're Puerto Rican.
Oh, yeah, I had the big pun.
No, it was just like, that was the vibe, you know what I mean? Because you were the first big Latinos in the scene like that. It was huge for us to be able to see something like that. I'm telling you, I wanted to be a rapper. I opened up for you. I found out I'm not supposed to be rapping. Plus, I'm in the studios with Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, watching them rap as a youngin', and I'm like, yeah, rap ain't for me, but I'll do podcasting. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't. You see, in life, you could try for many, many things, and you don't really know what you'll be successful at. And just today, I forget who I was talking to, one of my friends. Oh, who was it? Dre from Cool and Dre? And he was like, yo, I just closed a deal with such and such company. He's a hip-hop producer. But it's so left. But, you know, you get around the circles, you know, people lead the people. Ideas that get you to talk to people you never thought you'll ever meet before. And then you'll become successful through hard work and determination in another way. So it's never how you want it, it's how God does it, and it's in his hands and his timing. You know, last thing somebody would have thought was Fat Joe was hosting some B.E.T Awards. He's Fat Joe the rapper, bro. I done finessed the shit. I seen all the hosters in the crowd, the guys who really went to college for it looking like, damn, and I'm super smooth with it. Like, I'm shooting this shit like this. Like, you know, I'm like, my shit water. You know what I mean? It don't look like he got to worry in life. Like, I'm coming through talking that shit. And your man know I'm throwing that shit on. And so, you know, I used to, I'm not encouraging it to nobody, but I used to rob people. I used to sell drugs, do the craziest shit just to be fly, right? And then what was that? You know, we'd just be fly and we'd go to the neighborhood club where only 10 blocks in that section even know who you is. And we got the chain like we somebody, and now they give me an opportunity to stunt in front of the whole world hosting the B.E.T Awards. Of course I'm gonna wear 8 outfits, different chains, different white. I'm starting in front of the whole fucking world.
Yeah.
You know, that's, it's funny because I remember the time when I went to jail for taxes. The prosecutor was like telling the judge, you know, when they trying to get me locked up, he's like, he's flamboyant. He drives Rolls Royces and raps about exotic clothes, and he has dogs that cost such a, like, I didn't even know that bothered this man. Like, it fucking bothered him that, you know, I like to fucking dress and shine and all. He really brought the shit up in court. And that's my shit. You know what I'm saying? If I could do that till I die, that's definitely happiness for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's dope. It's like when you watch NFL players transition into hosting, and you see them put that headset on, and it's like, okay, I didn't picture you in this role, but man, you know the game better than anybody else.
That's it.
And now when you hosting, it's not just alumni. It's also the senior class before you. It's the future class to come. It's everybody in that building. So for you to do that and fit in that role naturally, you're the right man for the job. You know
I'm blessed because they fuck with me. The youth, they fuck with me. They love me. They come up to me and they hug me. All the young, the little babies, the Glorillas, they come and hug me like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, OG. Because they know I spit that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to give you sugar-coated story. I'm going to tell you the truth. I fucked up. You know what I mean? Or I did the right thing or whatever the case. Yeah. And my line's always open to any of the youth, you know what I mean, who want some advice or something like that. Sometimes I offer advice, they don't even ask me. Yeah, like it's a female MC, just to give you one, several female MCs that's hot as fuck right now. And I seen them about to slip up and get some type of trouble, and I hit them in the DM real quick and be like, yo, that ain't it. Get off that ASAP. And they hit me right back like, wow, Joe, thank you. I needed to hear that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, no, that's not a goal. I made every mistake. You know, I'm a ghetto nigga for real. Like, I did every stereotype you ever thought of, arguing with my old girlfriends in front of the whole projects, all in my, any kind of ghetto stereotype shit you ever heard, I did it. And so I come from there, and I like to think I'm in a good place.
Word. At what point did you feel like you had the right to give those advice, to give?
You know, I was just mad that people before me didn't give me that type of advice. Word. You know, I was running around with, I can't say we invented it, but we invented a lot of shit. But it's almost like my fault when you see a young rapper with 50 dudes with him and all that, because I think we started that shit. I think we was just coming in the game with just like, everywhere you saw Fat Joe was 50, 100 guys standing around him. You couldn't even walk up to him. You couldn't even talk to him. You couldn't. I wished the Russell Simmons, I wished somebody who was a legend before me that I respected would have came up to me and told me, yo, that ain't it, man. Right. You know, shorten your circle, because, you know, people in the getting money game are easily intimidated. And they don't really want to deal. Imagine you had a deal with Suge Knight. Imagine you fucked around, did a deal, and you're making money with this guy. So you can't leave him because you caking up. But this guy's a killer. He's coming in there with guys with red eyes looking at you, yo, they rather deal with Tyler, the Creator. Yeah. You understand? Like, yo, let me deal with Tyler, the Creator, nice guy. You know, we'll figure this out. We'll negotiate. And so, you know, somebody would have told me, yo, that ain't the look. You know what I'm saying? I used to go into meetings, corporate meetings with 20, 30 niggas around the whole table. Niggas. And I used to tell the nigga, yo, this is my brother Choom Choom. Just came home for double life, killing niggas. This nigga here is a mass murderer. This guy's over here like, what the fuck did I expect him to do? Like, but to get away from me, like, yo, let me get out of here from this guy. This guy's crazy.
Yeah, you got the most polite guys in the room, and you're just sitting there getting them shook.
Yeah, because you if you got the option to work with people, you want to just work and make money. You want to go home and be happy with your family. You don't want to have to think like, yo, I'm going to get into an argument with these guys, and these guys are doing what? Right. And then nobody's really your friend like that at that time, so they quit. You know, it's a sad case in every game of divide and conquer. And so everybody tries to look up to the guy who got the bag. So the minute I'm turning around, they tell him, you know, this guy's a starter. This guy's a gangster, street guy. Are you kidding me? What are you doing? No, Joe's a sweetheart. No, like, you don't know the guy. The guy, you know who you got in there? Like, and they used to try that, and there's a real famous story of when I went, it would have been no big pun. So I set up a meeting to meet Steve Rifkind, who's still one of my best friends 30 years later. And when I go there, Steve said, yo, could I talk to you? And I came outside with him. You could Google it. He says it himself. And he's like, yo, I got 8 phone calls today, people telling me not to meet with you. He said, he tell me you an extorter, you a robber, you a this, a drug dealer, this, that. He said, but you know, my father's a gangster, so that shit don't pump no fear. I actually like gangsters.
Yeah, I called you direct.
But it was so fucked up that this was the first time I ever was gonna get to be an executive, to be a boss. Niggas was hating on me. They was calling up the plug, talking about, yo, don't let him eat, don't let him eat, don't let him eat. That was out of fear of the perception they thought I was. So they was like, we can't let this guy get the bag, you know? And so you got to beware of all that. But once again, if somebody I really respected and trusted would have broke down to me like, yo, like, this ain't it, I would have been walking around like I walk around now.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, and you really were a polarizing figure since the moment you stepped in the door. So I don't think not too many people felt comfortable enough to reach out and be like, yo, Joe. Because you might, at that, like right now where you're at mentally, you're cool with
I'm
it.
totally different.
You know, in your 20s, somebody calls you, what the fuck is he calling me for? You know what I mean? What the fuck you mean? You know what I mean? It's different. I be trying to talk shit to my nephew all the time, telling him to straighten up with certain shit.
We told him too.
Yeah, good.
Oh, I thought the other dreadlock kid was your nephew.
Yeah, he is. It is.
Yeah, we was talking to him off the scene.
Yeah. Straighten up, you little bastard, you know?
He said, man, you got the crash shit, you got dreadlocks, everybody got
You already look.
Of course, the fucking police fucking with you, man.
That's what I told him.
I said, if it helps you, I caught 50 ass whippings from the police. Don't worry, you ain't that special.
Don't motivate him. You can say, oh, I got a big fat job.
I'm telling you, we never had cameras. A cop come over, smack your cheek off for no reason. Be like, yo, my man, come here. I was a really bad guy. Like I'm just being honest with you. I was really, really a bad guy. Right? So a lot of fucked up shit that happened to me I deserved. But I had like every cop in my neighborhood on my ass. Like, I mean, like Fat Joe, they must have had posters of me in the precinct. No, real talk. Shit. They wanted me that bad, right? And so I had this one cop that would harass me anytime he saw me. He'd jump out, search me. Just
walking.
I don't give a fuck if I was with my moms. I don't care. You know, one day I was going to school. It was like 7 in the morning. The guy waited in my hallway. The minute I closed my door, he jumped on me and searched my like book bag. Like he thought I was strapped all the time, but I ain't have nothing, right? The one time this guy stopped me, right? I'm driving the car. You hear this, Raul? And I never had a license, so that was easy. It was like, yo, your license? All the cops knew this guy's driving cars. He don't have a license. I was the easiest person to lock up in the world. They knew BMW, Benz, this guy don't got a license, so let's take him to jail, right? So one day he stops me, and I got this girl with me. She was beautiful, and I'm kicking it with her. He's like, yo. He pulls over, and he is violating me so much. What you doing with Fat Joey? Little dick nigga. He ain't shit. Yo, I'll smack the shit out. Like, he violated me so much, he forgot to search me, Dan. The one time I had the hammer on him.
Shit.
Oh, my God.
God be working in mysterious
ways. When I tell you this guy had a 100% racial, he would search me in front of my mother. He'd come up to me and do this. But he shitted on me so much, telling the girl, what you doing with this nigga? He's a fuck this dude. He was violating me so much. He was like, get the fuck out of here, you bitch ass nigga. I was like,
you got it.
Pull off. I had the hammer on him. Yeah. This is the one time he had me. And I got away with it. Fuck him.
Listen, man, last night I was riding home. I took my girl out for her birthday dinner. And I like speeding. I drive fast. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I do. And there was a cop next to me. So I was kind of keeping up with him. I didn't want to go past him, but I was keeping up with him. He was hitting like 80.
That's a risky game.
Yo,
that's a risky game.
He goes to ram his car into mine in the middle of the road. I got my girl's pregnant. So I'm not a soft-spoken, quiet dude. So I'm like,
argue back with the
So
cop.
I'm like, swerve back into him. Like, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? So we're going back and forth on the turnpike, right? So I go to get off.
It's terrible.
I'm revving the engine. He pulls out, fucking goes around me, pulls his gun out, starts screaming, and I'm like, I was like, my boy, you tried to run me off the road. What the fuck were you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? I ain't never seen no shit like that. You tried to run me.
Sometimes they don't see what they do.
Yeah.
You understand? And out of frustration, they could do some wild shit. And that it's just like...
He did it like 7 straight times.
Yeah, but what you're not listening is that power tripping. There's people who want power more than money. When you go to the club and you got the guy standing there and it's the hottest club and he's going, no, you like, yo, what the fuck am I, chopped meat? Niggas just going over you, picking this one, picking that one. It's power tripping. There's people who can't wait to go to work to treat their employees like shit. Like, yo, I remember in the jail, they call it riding you. When you got certain CEOs that got a problem with everything. Like, that's power tripping. So Money thinks he's God. He's playing with you like he could ram into the minute you gave him a little sauce back, he was like, oh no, nobody could do that to you. Right? But yo, we human. You know what I'm saying? And that's a pretty fucked up thing in life because when you're thinking about it, everybody's human. So when you go to court, them judges could have been arguing with that wife that day and gave you an extra 2-3 years, 5 years just because they had a shitty day.
Yeah, my wife did the same shit. Going to jail. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they be.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
And I look at it that way because I got a lighter complexion. If that was my nephew that did that. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Because he had the gun pulled out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn.
There's two sets of rules, right? Steve Rifkind has 2 sons, both with the same woman. She's black. He's white. One of his sons is white. You hear me? Like Leonardo DiCaprio. And one of his sons is black, like Jaylen Brown. They teach him 2 sets of rules. The white one says if he catches a flat and a cop sees him, the cop comes out the car and helps him fix the tire, the flat. The black one, they told him to do this. Don't argue with the cops. It's just a reality.
Crazy.
You know, racism and all that. You know, it's just a reality. And it also depends on where you get caught at. You know, if this shit dark enough. You know, one time I was in Miami. I was in your house, Rich. I don't know if you remember this. We was cooking food.
You had to clarify that. You seen that?
No, we was cooking food. No. I ain't sell drugs in 30-something years. We were cooking food. No, I'm telling him because he might say the wrong shit. But we was cooking food and we realized there was 2 or 3 ingredients that was missing. So I said, I'm going to go to the supermarket. You remember that shit? And I just jumped. I had this cocaine white Benz. This shit was called Coca, baby. This shit was so dope. You know when a car is past this prime when you got it for like 4 years, but you love it, you still don't want to get rid of it, and your first like, yo, you Joe Crack. You supposed to have the new shit. I'm like, nah, this shit is my shit. So I love that car, so I'm going towards the supermarket. Cop pulls me over here in Miami. Cop pulls me over, a white dude. He says, yo, license. Oh, shit, I ran out the crib. I didn't even have my wallet. Get out the car. First thing they do is put the handcuffs on you, right? I hadn't realized how small the back of a cop car is. I ain't been in there in so long. My knees was on my fucking neck. Like, I was like, oh, shit, right? And I got the handcuffs on. Yo, Raul, you'll never believe this. The man is listening to Klu Klux Klan radio.
Oh, what? No, sir.
This the cop in Miami was listening to the Klu. I didn't know this shit. It must be on like AM.
Yeah. Some serious XL.
No, the white man, this. I'm like, what the fuck?
Get out of here.
In America, he's the cop. He's the guy we gotta look up to. He's listening to the wildest shit. I'm like back there, I'm like this. So thank God I told them my name and my address, and now they got a computer where the picture pops up of your license. So he let me go from there. But I did not know that the police could be riding around in an urban community playing Ku Klux Klan radio, white supremacist radio. The white man is superior. The distance, I've never heard no shit like this in my life, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, they fixing niggas, man. They fixing them. Yeah. This ain't fair. It's just a reality of what's going on out here, man. It's crazy, man.
Now, early on, having that crew, the Terror Squad crew. How was it out in New York there? Because in New York, it was mainly, you know, you had the blacks and Boricua, Dominicans, right, you know what I'm saying? Dominican. And did you have to deal with a lot of that back then?
Nah, man. I like I tell you, I personally, I can't tell you my experience as being a Latino versus anybody else's, because all I know is black people. Like I grew up, I was born in a black neighborhood. My mom's was there 40 years before. My uncles all got black wives. So I never, you know, it wasn't no racial type of shit for me. I don't know how to explain it. So even though I had blonde hair and green eyes, you know, that was Joey since he was born. Yeah. So, you know, there's fucked up people and Latinos and fucked up black people too. It's like whoever wanted to smoke. You know, my thing was I was never going to be a sucker. I was never going to be a punk. You know, I was never going to let somebody pick on me or bully me. So my shit was just like that. And wherever I went, I don't give a fuck if it was the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, wherever. I wouldn't back down from nobody. And so that was just, that no matter what color. I caught as much ass whippings from Latinos than I caught from blacks. I done caught some ass whippings, man. And just because it's the real stand your ground. You know what I mean? It's hard to stand your ground. Huh, Raul? It's hard when you got 20 niggas telling you, yo, we're about to fuck you up. It's easier to turn pussy and walk it off.
Yeah, I got jumped many times.
Yeah, but when you the nigga that's gonna be like, yo, suck my dick, fuck your mother. Like, let's rock. Oh my God. You're gonna get lumped up. Like, you know what I mean? That's a different type of environment. But me, that's never been, you know, we made music for everybody. We just happen to be the Latinos. You know what I'm saying? Now, are we prideful of being Latino or Guyos or whatever? 1,000,000%. I'm Puerto Rican. My father's Cuban. My mother's Puerto Rican. My father's Cuban. My godfather, one of the best men I ever met in my life, is Dominican. You know what I'm saying? My wife is Colombian. Yeah, we proud to be Latino. And we represent the Latinos all the way. You know what I'm saying? We started a lot of this shit. Like we built this shit. And that's another thing. You need to ask your Latino people that come on here, like, what has Fat Joe and Big Pun done for the game? Do me a new one. Make that a new donkey of the day. So let's see what they say, because they never say nothing. Know what I'm saying? It's the Latino. I just hosted the B.E.T Awards. It's the Latino Awards across the street from my house. I don't get an invitation. Sometimes they think I'm not Latino, right? I don't want to go see Carol G do her shit. Like, you know, that shit crazy. It's crazy because, you know, I see me, and so that's why I got to tell what we do, because, you know, I see me and Pun get overlooked a lot. Like, you ain't just come out with reggaeton, bro. You got inspired by the Latino rappers. You know what I'm saying? That we embrace everybody. You know, the first reggaeton hip-hop collaboration was a mixtape called Boricua Guerrero. You could say I executive produced that. So it was rappers and reggaeton artists. I did a song with the Mexicano, rest in peace. Nas did a song with Daddy Yankee, this. Oh, I put that shit together on the New York side. You know what I'm saying? But that don't come up. Like, so when I see all the history of how all this come up, and so it's very important that you just tell your history, because otherwise they'll erase your shit. You know what I mean? That's why this is so important, interviews like this, so people could look back at this 30 years from now and be like, nah, Fat Joe said.
Yeah.
They did that. They was rocking with
Fat Joe's that guy. Word. So I know, you know, I've been in business for a long time, right? And my business partner and I, when I started this shit off probably in 2010, just getting into business and anything that I could get my hands on. And when him and I separated and he started doing his own thing is when I really started to flourish and I really started to shine. When you lost Pun, do you feel that brought something else out in you? Absolutely, but you know, I was Big Pun. So I don't know if you people understand or everybody really understands. So I was on my way up. I was finishing my second album.
I was already doing rap videos with Nas, everybody you could think of in the world, all of LL, this, that. I was blowing up. And then I meet Pun, right? So he's a kid from the Bronx, you know, rough around the edges. He was a diamond, but he was a diamond in the rough. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm coming up myself, I'm really thinking about doing hardcore hip-hop music. I ain't thinking about blowing up, but I saw what Puff did with Biggie because Biggie's my man. So I seen it all. I used to see Biggie wearing the hockey jerseys and 10X pants and Puff coming throwing the fucking silk suits on him and the gators and niggas like, yo, I gotta do this shit, Puff. Yeah. Then he became the biggest success in the world. So when I met Pun would have rather been a Coogee rap, you know, a hardcore rapper like that, never make a song for girls or be commercialized. I was like, no, you the Spanish Biggie. So I did everything from dress him to you know, I mean, obviously you see my 8 changes yesterday, right? I dressed him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pun would have came out with, you know, with a tank top, this and that, and I was throwing Versace on him and the matching car, the this, that. Shades. And then when we got him his deal, whether people really understand, if we talking in detail of the timetable, when we got him his deal, we put Wyclef on his album. Wyclef was 30 million sold. He never even met Pun before that. Joe the singer was like Drake. He was selling 500,000 first week, real records. When he did the song with Pun, he ain't know Pun. He knew Fat Joe. So when all these guys came to the studio, they thought they was doing songs with me. And I was like, no, you doing it with the better fat guy. And once we played them the music, they was like, oh, shit, this dude is crazy, right? So much work, you know. I invented the street team in rap music, right? So because of graffiti is all about all city, getting your name up everywhere, you know, having your shit when you driving around, you see your name everywhere. So that's what we did with Pun and Joe. We put up posters all night, literally me putting up posters, and my crew, all night, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Harlem, this. So while everybody else was partying, when you went to work in the morning and you was stuck in traffic on Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn, or you was by the 57th Street Bridge, you seeing these posters, Big Pun, Big Pun, Big Pun, Big Pun, all that. Like the type of work we put in for this Big Pun shit was out of control. And so I always know how to play a number 2 slot. A lot of people got a problem with being number 2. I don't. If I see the big prizes, we're going to win and we're going to get to the promised land and we're going to get money and we're going to live like we want to live, I'm cool. Right? So I put him in front of me. And then the one thing he did do when he was doing all his music was, you know, I'm picking out the beats. Yo, for real, because sometimes I watch interviews, they try to act like Fat Joe did. Yo, it's 20 years later, I still put out hits, bro. I think you should check my credibility a little.
I think I know what I'm doing here.
I'm picking out the beats. I'm doing that. Nigga, I'm shooting the videos. I'm doing everything, right? They try to act like I ain't got nothing to do with that part of the legacy, right? So the one thing he did do was taught me how to be a better rapper, a better MC. And so he would sit me down face to face with a pen and be like, yo, right now you talk about the girls. Right now you talk about your chains and how you want to give it. Like, he taught me how to make a hit. So when he passed away, everybody was nervous, but that's when I bought the bigger TS chain.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying.
That's when I bought the bigger TS chain. And I was like, oh, you think we going somewhere? And so the people ain't know I knew how to write these hits. And before that, I just wanted to be a digging in the crater. I wanted to be a MOP, a gangstar, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But because he passed away, and, you know, success is addictive. You know, money's addictive. I'm addicted to making money.
Hello.
That's a fact. And so, you know, I had to step up and make hits. Like, we thuggin' and make hits. Like, What's Love? And make, you know, and Feed the Streets on the same album with My Lifestyle. You know, I was capable, you know, but it was, you know, I was capable, but it was like I had to show up right there and take the squad, and take the whole team with me to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Pun wasn't here no more. I wasn't worried about the music. I had that. I wasn't worried about the videos. I was the one shooting them. I wasn't worried about the style or anything because I'm the one dressing everybody. Right. You know, I'm the one with the juice. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
straight up.
Yeah. I ain't have a problem getting Ashanti on there, getting R. Kelly on there, getting everybody who's a Ludacris on the album. This. I was good. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't worried about that. I just had to assume that position. At first, I ain't want that position. I was cool with, you know, Pun making the hits, being the sex symbol, and me just being the Don Carter Jr.
Yeah. Hey. But it's all come full circle because it's like executive producer of the B.E.T HipHop Awards, executive producer of Big Pun, executive producer of Terror Squad. Everything you were doing, it was really setting all that up for this. So that's why you couldn't.
Executive producer of the B.E.T HipHop Awards. That's kind of ill.
That's dope. Got a ring to it.
That's fucking.
It is.
Hey, you got a job, mate. You got a job, mate.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
So how was the awards show? Was it up to your expectations?
I loved it, but behind the scenes, they really stressed me the fuck out.
Of course.
Nah, because you go and, you know, I believe in practice makes perfect. You know what I mean? So J-Lo, I learned a lot from J-Lo, right? One year we shooting the video for the video Hold You Down in the Bronx. Shit is like 20 degrees below zero, and she got a fucking mini skirt and a tube top, and I ain't hear her one time say she was cold.
She came here to work, man.
I got a fucking fur on with hand warmers, all type of shit. I'm like, right? And so I learned that day. I said, man, this girl got so much more money than me. She ain't complained once. I never complained again in my life as an artist talking about it's too hot or too cold. I just did my job, right? And so, you know, with her, I learned a lot about practice makes perfect. And so when you go and you watch a Super Bowl show and she's floating on one arm and shit, doing some shit, she rehearsed that for like 6 months straight. And so BET tells me, yo, we got to rehearse, right? I cancel a show and everything to get there 3 days ahead of time. We rehearse. Sunday, Monday, we super rehearsing, right? Even the day of, you get there in the morning, you rehearse the whole show with all the artists, they perform. You go to your room, you change, you hit the red carpet, then it's showtime. That's how intense the shit is. So we rehearsed this shit 100 times. I show up, I got my outfit to come out, this and that, and they're like, okay, we're going to do Act 10, the closing of the show first. Then we're going to this. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? We rehearsed? Like, I'm going crazy. Like, I'm like, oh, my God. It's hard to get me mad, too. It's hard to see me. To see Fat Joe frustrated 2023 is a hard job, but they did it, bro. They did it, man, but it came out incredible. You would never know watching it. You'll be like, oh, the show is just fire. So much fire.
There's always a lot of work behind the scenes that most people don't appreciate. Those people never get their name shouted out as loud. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy is I was introducing an award and I was in the crowd and I'm listening and Boosie is there. Boosie Badass. I love Boosie Badass.
We had him up here last week.
Oh no, he's the realest, bro. And so Boosie Badass, he's in the crowd and he's talking to his mans. But a lot enough for me to hear. And like, you know, these motherfuckers, man, they never put me on a fucking camera and all this and that. And I come over here, I like the camera. You know, it's the B.E.T Award. I'm hearing them. I'm ear hustling them the whole time. So they go, right, to get on the camera. Yo, Boosie Badass, what's up, baby? He was like, that's why I fuck with Joe. Yo, like, Joe gave me a shot. Yeah, yo, that was crazy. He didn't think I heard it. I'm ear hustling because it's crazy. Because, I mean, to tell you the truth, it's the only place you go where everywhere you look is a celebrity.
Everybody's in the room.
Everybody's in the room. A list, B list, C list, Hospital Wives of America, every fucking body, straight eye for a queer guy, motherfuckers, everybody in that bitch. Anybody you ever thought you could see before, they in that shit. And so you like, oh shit, this is crazy. This shit is lit. Like everybody's in this motherfucker. And so you hear him, and you know Boosie is a real one. You know what I'm saying? He's unfiltered. He's one of the realest ever in rap music, and I love him. You know what I'm saying? And so when I heard him do that, I said, he sound like me. Like if I wasn't hosting the shit, I would have been like, yo, they don't let real niggas up on this. Shit, fuck that. I would have been saying the same shit.
So the teleprompter ain't, Joe is Joe at the end of the day.
Yeah, they do the teleprompter, but I don't really do the, you know, it's my second year, and I rehearse the shit like they want me to rehearse it all 3 days, and when it's time, I'll be like, you know what? I'm not saying shit. Y'all got on that fucking teleprompter. I'm going off top. I know what I'm going to say. Don't worry. It's going to be the same thing, my way. And it goes flawless. Nobody bothers me. Nobody comes up and says, we didn't like that, or no. They're like, keep killing it, Joe. Keep killing it. I'm like, all right, great.
I mean, you kind of earned that, too. They got to let you go. They got to let you do what you got to do. As long as it's following the format, let them run. You know what I'm saying? Let the culture show, too.
Yeah,
it can't be pronouncing every word to the tiny and next we have, it can't be like that. That's not what we watching.
See, I was fucking up because I kept calling DJ Holiday Hollywood. That's the one correction of the night. So I'm like, I'm here with DJ Hollywood. This niggas, they sat me down like I was in school on detention. It was like, yo, you know the guy. It's DJ Hollywood.
Shout out to
I said,
DJ
what?
Hollywood.
They like, it's DJ Hollywood. DJ Holiday. I said, so what? Yeah. That's what they said. No, you've been calling them Hollywood for 3 fucking days. I said. So I go upstairs to do the show, the clip with him. I said, I know, DJ Holiday. Don't worry, man. I fucking got you. Yo, he killed that shit too. He ripped it down more than anybody, DJ Holiday from the ATL. I mean, I just think it was in the ATL. They knew the right fuckery to throw on. Yeah, I'm in the Cool Whip inside Jello. Yeah. How about this pretty motherfucker like hello?
Yeah.
Who that?
Yeah, they be having them.
That motherfucker had that gas going on. He was just pap. That nigga, yo, he had that shit in a frenzy. DJ Holiday out the ATL. He was dead nice as set.
Shout out to DJ Holiday.
That's right.
And
Now,
DJ Hollywood.
you had you mentioned J-Lo, and that's another, Boricua out from the Bronx. Big deal. And in that track you guys had together, you mentioned how she was the first one to call after you lost Pun. Yeah. So how was your relationship, and what did that mean for you?
It was tight. Me and J-Lo still family. She do whatever I say. That's the type of relationship we got. But when you got that type of love and you got that type of bond, you don't use it often. Actually, you don't use it. You know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact that she's on my list in my hand of people I could call and ask for anything, and she got it. She's a strong woman. She's a powerful business lady, strong woman, and she about her shit, and she works hard and she puts that work ethic on 10,000. And so when Pun passed, we went to the hospital. Well, we went to the hotel, then we went to the hospital. They let us see him. I got in the car and she called. She was like, yo, sorry, I heard about Pun, this and that. And it just felt good. When Pun passed, it was a lot of pressure on me. I was still young, too. So he passed 27 years old. I was 28. And I had to pick up all the pieces, 28 years old. You know what I'm saying? And it's one thing to call yourself the Don. It's another thing to do a funeral where, 100,000 New Yorkers is coming to it, where Puff Daddy, Mark Anthony, it was a real crazy thing I had to do. Plus, I lost my best friend. You know what I mean? I was very, very vulnerable because although I was the leader, he was the rock. He was the foundation. He was the, Pun do what I tell him. He's smoking anything. Like, he said, you must have snuffed Joe. Must have been Puerto Rican rum. Yeah. It takes years to earn some Terror Squad. Boy, he believed it. When I first met Pun, he told me his whole life story in 10 minutes. Deep shit that you would not tell nobody, right? And he was just like, yo, man, the guy, because Terror Squad was always a real crew. Like, it's always the real deal, right? But Pun's from the other side of town, so one of his first questions was like, yo, they gonna do what I say? Like, I'm gonna have a crew, they gonna do what I say? Yeah. They down with me? I said, yeah. And man, they loved him to death. They did whatever he said. That was, and Pun, sometimes you're a real guy. You just looking for the right crew to be with. And so when we met each other, he was just like, oh. So he was a shot caller. Yeah. And terrible. You rather deal with Fat Joe than Big Pun. Because, him, Tony Sunshine, oh, my God. We all be in jail for 10,000 years. Tony Sunshine, you think he's R&B. Shit. Yeah. Motherfucker, a problem. Like, Yeah.
Could we ever hear Terror Squad reunion? At least
what kind of a reunion? You mean like the other guys? Nah. Nah. You sell all your fucking film equipment, everything, and bet the other way. Bet it on the other way. That shit.
I already know.
Baccarat that way. Like, nah. We ain't got nothing to talk about with nobody, really. We ain't got nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's how it should be in the industry a lot. Like, a lot of people look at people that come up in the industry and they automatically, okay, that's family, that's it. They don't realize that this is a business at the same time. So some people are literally like your employees. You know what I mean?
I just think I had a bad rap, and I think I had a bad whole experience with trying to help people that didn't deserve it or wasn't grateful for it. And at that, don't accept their failures. I want to point it at somebody else. I fucked up. Like, where I know I fucked up. Not in this situation, but I fucked up. Where when it came down to me, I just took it on the chin like a man and said, all right, Joe, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You made the wrong choice, or something like that. But, you got to own up to everything, whether it's, good or bad, whether you lose or win. You got to, if you fucked up, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Right. And since some people, bet against me and it didn't work good for them, and that's pretty much what happens to everybody who bets against me. It don't work for them because I'm a good-hearted guy, bro. I'm the guy, man. I mean, just check my track record, man. I try to put everybody, all the Latinos on. I try to, nobody did it since again, and nobody did it before that, I tried, you know what I'm saying? I really did try. And so, if you see Remy with me, Remy has a mansion, fucking indoor pool, rich as hell. Nice. Cool and Dre, rich as hell. Khaled, rich as hell. It's just everybody rich. Everybody
people
eating.
Don't get the legends that you brought.
Tony's
up in the
chilling.
game. Yeah.
Do you see Tony ice the fuck out? He don't live too far from here, chilling, driving this. Anybody down with us is eating. That's it. Right. And that's my job as a leader to make sure everybody's eating. And they all eating. You go to my fucking sneaker stores, they look like they trapping. The fucking managers got Benz trucks.
Let's go.
You been there, huh? Rolexes on. You feel like they selling some shit in the back. Like everybody eat with me. It's almost impossible not to eat with me. Everybody eat. Oh, you not eating? You might have did something wrong. Yeah. You might have violated the code. You know what I'm saying?
It's real.
See, them kicks are hard to get.
Who you telling?
I seen they're going online when you sign them for like 6 bands, and I'm like, let's get our hands on a whole batch of them. And
a whole batch of them, get them to sign them. Yeah, man. We blessed, man. That's another thing, man. When we put out the way the sneaker came, right, was Virgil, rest in peace, was going to do a Terror Squad Air Force One because I've been collecting sneakers for 30 years. And so he knew, he said, "You're so important to the culture. I will be honored if you let me." I'm like, what? That's like fucking Drake giving you a song right now. That motherfucker turned around and said, "Yo, I want to be honored to do a Terror Squad." I was like, what? I start running down the block and shit, screaming at myself.
Looking like Tom Brady.
Yeah, and then he passed away less than a week later. And then the Nike people all knew. So they was like, "Yo, let's continue the conversation," you know?
Fire.
And so I can't leave nothing, once again, I can't leave nothing to chance. So when you see me out there delivering the sneaker in the middle of the night, middle of everything, Bill Clinton this, the vice president, like, I don't give a fuck, right? I'm out there working because I can't give it to chance. I can't put something out and just sit home and bullshit, twiddle my thumbs and hope it sells. You know, when you do business with a business partner, it's very important that they say, "Yo," when they bring up your name, when you ain't around, they're like, "Oh, no, I did business with him. He's good. He good money." Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's all you want to get you to the next step, right? But you don't want nobody frowning when your name come up about some money or whatever the case may be. So all Nike could do, we sold out worldwide in 5 minutes, like 70, 80,000 pairs, some wild shit.
Crazy.
Dubai sold out. China sold out. Japan sold out. Europe sold out. That motherfucker that shit was going down. It went on the computer, it sold out in 5 minutes. And then in the stores, a whole nother thing. They was hitting me, they was like, New York sold out every store. ATL sold out every store. Cali sold out every store. They was, Dan, they was giving me like a motherfucker running for president and they was giving me them numbers like in real time. It was like, yo, ATL sold out. This sold out. Dubai, cheese lines around the block, sold out. This, that. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. And it's a blessing because you could put out a product and it could be the best product in the world, but it's up to the consumer to buy it. You know? Why fight time when you can rewind the time? Why fight time when you can you seen the beard and the hair color and all that? Nah. Yo, look it up on my Instagram, bro, so I can show them off the phone. The rewind, the color, the dye. Yeah, we got Travis Kelce. No, I'm on there. I'm on there. Please.
He's got Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift in the building.
We got Travis Kelce's on that box. Khaled's on the box. Tyson, Beckford, Tank, Wonder Boy, Michael Cremant, Giancarlo. You know him from the novellas? Cuban cat with the blue eyes from the novellas? Yeah. Giancarlo.
You up there with the heartthrobs.
No,
so Fred was telling me, because Fred was at the B.E.T HipHop Awards yesterday, and he was telling me you had some exclusive red and white joints on yesterday. He wants to know when those are dropping. I want to know when we're going to, like, I feel like we deserve a exclusive pair.
Listen, let me explain something to y'all, too. I don't have them. I don't have them.
I ain't got it.
I begged them to give me, like, an exclusive pair, you know, just for selling out and this and that, because we never made a red and white before. And so I wore them to the awards. Nike was calling me like, yo, but the Twitter, everybody's calling. They think the sneaker's coming out. They this. I said, well, what do you think I was going to do with the sneaker? Of course I'm going to stunt in the sneaker. That's the whole point.
Yeah. I mean, really, they checking the meter. Like, did it do well? Oh, they like it.
Oh, no, it's on fire.
You know what I mean? So
No.
It ain't off the table.
Them red and white things. Sheesh.
Come on with the TS.
That shit, the whole Twitter right now is on that red and white shit. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was a great temperature check. You right. You right about
Now
that.
they know.
Yeah,
Check the market. Y'all see?
Oh, he might could bust off another color.
You know how it is.
That's how it is.
If it worked once, they gonna run that,
Yeah.
sell it again. Let's
man,
go.
We so blessed. Shout out my partner, Slow, up in YC. You know what I mean? We got businesses in the community, South Bronx, Harlem, Washington High, Papa. And so, you know, we got a school inside our store in the Bronx. We built a little school where the kids come after school program. You know, teach them computers. We feed them.
Nice.
Dope.
Give them mentorship. You know what I'm saying? Just last week, we gave away, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in clothes and sneakers to the community.
That
We
is
got
cool.
Thanksgiving coming, and Thanksgiving we pull up in all my stores with 18-wheeler trucks. They shop like you could be vegan on Thanksgiving. Motherfucker got a truck, produce, truck for like I mean we feed
Vegan
the
turkey,
blocks, man. We be
Give
just
me that vegan.
Yeah, we be out there like we feed because they could have killed me in them projects, man, and they let me live. And how much is enough? Because we work every day so much. You can never forget where we come from. I got an interesting story. It was one day I was in I don't know what I was doing. I was in the Bronx. I was in the Rolls Royce by myself. I went in the gas station to get a Red Bull. There's a homeless man out there, right? Like homeless, not a fake homeless. Like this guy was homeless. Like his pants looked like oil was on the shit. Or like, he was homeless. And he said, yo, Crack, man, you fly motherfucker. Damn, Crack, you's a fly motherfucker. And I'm like, all right, what's up? He was like, nah, I don't want nothing. Just want you to know, we know everything you do for us out here. We know everything. That was deep to me, man.
Yeah.
Fire. Streets.
Serious.
Yeah, that means everything.
Yeah.
Now I'm obviously. I think after today's show, we're going to be even more in the media, right? Because we keep going viral for a bunch of shit.
That's beautiful.
But,
you definitely, I'm automatic viral.
Yeah.
No.
Especially right now.
No, I'm automatic viral. Like, even when I don't want to be viral, I'm viral. The other day, they hit me up. They said, B.E.T. asked me, yo, man, they sent a letter. Here's a letter. It's a 52-year-old rapper. A 52-year-old guy, I'm thinking I'm gonna start a rap career. I told him, yo, retire.
Don't do that. Yeah, I saw that.
Like, bro, and they killing me, right? Because you gotta, everybody wanna rap, god damn it. Like, they're like, yo, Joe, you turning the mainstream. Look, everybody, go after your dreams. I'm a firm believer, go after your dreams, but keep your day job. Right. Like, keep your real. Fucking Plymouth Rock ain't land on me. I'm not fuck out of here. Like, you 52, you trying to pop off?
Now? Yeah. You want to get started?
You want to get some 12-year-old kids or 14-year-old kids to feel the vibe? Like,
some people.
Come on, man. People are unfucking realistic, huh? Like, it's like, come on, man. Y'all want the truth or not?
Nah, that's real. That's real.
And so many people so scared of, like, cancel or say some shit. That's why I fuck with Boosie.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck, man. He gonna say what he think, whether we agree or don't agree. But he gonna say what he think. But
it's needed.
It's viral mania, man. There's nothing we can do.
But that's why you're viral, because you don't bullshit. You don't sugarcoat.
Hell no, man. We go viral because we talking that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking that shit other rappers are scared to talk about. But they'll talk about it now because they see it works. But I've been talking about shit, and the one thing I used to say back in the days was like, I was like, man, I used to see fans praising certain artists. And I knew them personally behind the scenes there. And I was like, yo, man, these guys are pieces of shit. And these motherfuckers acting like, they the saviors of this and this. I'm like, man, I can't believe that they talking about these dudes like they gods, and these niggas don't give two fucks about these dudes. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I know them. I came up 30 years with every rapper So I'm like, oh, my God, the way they talk about it. And then, eventually it come around, they see who really got their back, who gonna tell them the truth. Guys guys are so scared of everything, their own shadow. They scared to talk about everything. I just want you to use it for transparency. I want you to say, that happened to Fat Joe. He fucked his bag up. I don't gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. You know what I mean? And also, people manipulating, because there's powerful people in everything. right? And the way I first started getting into doing like podcasts and all that is I was watching shit, documentaries on hip hop that credible people that we know were putting out, and the whole shit was a lie. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. They had Pitbull as the first Latino rapper in the game. No, for real, though. I'm looking, it's not Pitt's fault. Yeah. Pitt's one of the best, most loyal guys I ever met in my life in this business. I worship Pitbull. That wasn't a shot at Pitbull.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at the shit, and I'm just like, oh, no. I got to tell this. I got to get some rappers, interview Snoop Dogg, let them tell it, because once it's on tape,
that's true.
It's out.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
Your shit tonight, live, this on tape.
Yeah. Right. History.
This shit gone.
But it's true though, because that's why it's good that you do speak your truth. It's better to hear it from you than, like you're saying, let somebody else typecast
That's
on
why
TMZ.
I wrote my own book, because I didn't want to. Because if I would have died and somebody else, even people who love me, they probably would have been trying to protect my image, clean coated. I wanted letting people know where the fuck I came from, the mud, the trenches.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted them to know I really came up out the fucking mud and everything I had to go through in life. You know what I'm saying? So I think it means more when they know where you really come from, what you really went through, and where you at now.
And where you at now?
Hell yeah. It's a dope shit.
Yeah.
It's just an honor to have you in the building when we really think about it. Like, Chris and I speak before every show, and I'm like, Chris, I got Fat Joe.
Come on.
Fat Joe's coming through the building. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I had to give Versace up. I'm like, fuck, I can't look like a bum out here. So I brought my...
Nobody tell your nephew ain't tell me.
Yeah.
I said, yo, let me use the bathroom. It wasn't nobody in here. Right? I was here before all y'all.
Yeah.
He opened the door, the biggest fucking dog in America. Come here, Apollo. I said, God damn, nigga. That motherfucker don't even bark. So I'm trying to break in this motherfucker. He gonna bite my nuts off? The biggest dog in the fucking world. I'm like, oh, you don't like dogs? Fuck no, I don't know this guy.
I like my dogs. I don't know your dog.
I don't know. He's a beautiful dog. I don't know this motherfucker. He turned around and want to bite my nuts off.
And everybody thinks he's good, he's nice.
And that's part of the fame, you know? But I brought, early on, my son, whoever walks in the house, he's going to have a story.
Daps everybody, right?
Make sure he gives him the pound. He even doesn't sound now. He just started making it, pff.
My man.
He makes it sound and shit,
Go.
But, that's something that's real important to me. And now being in the limelight, how do you juggle? Because you have a beautiful wife and beautiful family. How do you juggle? How do you stay out of trouble?
You see my wife yesterday on that beach? She smoked them hoes. Huh? Boy, goddamn, boy, we don't preserve that. That's like, when you got the Wagyu beef when you go to a restaurant, they be like, he only listened to Frank Sinatra. They rubbed oil of Olay on him. Yeah. When you see that girl, you say, man, that woman ain't have an argument in her life, man. That motherfucker that took care of her. She ain't got a wrinkle in her face. He been with her 29 years. That motherfucker, boy, I say, she like the Wagyu and shit. She come through floating like, shh. We love it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about my family. I'm all about my whole family. My nephew runs my store in the Bronx. If you positive and you in my family, I got your back. We don't accept abusos. I'm not with the abusos. You know what I mean? You can't take advantage. You can't extort me for nothing. You couldn't extort me with an army of 36,000 dudes. You got to just kill me. I don't believe in extortion in no way, shape, or form. Never been extorted, never will be. Ever, right? Not by a family and friend, not this, but I'm about my family, man, and I had it rough, and then my father was very, he let them hands fly too quick, like, you know what I mean? I'm 14, my father was whipping my ass like I'm a 30-year-old, you know what I'm saying? So he let them hands go quick, and he used to do just too much trauma in the house growing up, too much him arguing, beefing, this and that, to where I said I would never do that with none of my kids. So I never hit one of my kids. just recently I might have argued with my wife for the first time in front of my daughter. She's 17. You know, to where I ain't even arguing. My wife was trying to get off. I'm like, I don't argue, man.
Yeah, you gotta have real patience to stay out of that.
Man, I had an argument with a friend of mine. Guy I grew up with my whole life in the middle of the street, like 3 years ago. We was just going, you know, this guy, my brother. We was going back and forth and this and this and that. And I stopped for a second and I looked around. I seen the city buses. I seen people looking from the supermarket. I seen this. I turned around and I said, you know what? You're going to be the last nigga I ever argue with again. No. You know, because these guys you see me with, I've been with them 30, 40 years. These guys got the right to argue with Joe, but I said, you know what? This going to be the last one. Not with you, with anybody. I ain't giving nobody the privilege to argue with Fat Joe no more. We can't even argue. Give a fuck if you a cop and you trying to argue over this, keep it, give me the ticket. I don't give a fuck. I'm not arguing with you. Life too short.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That comes with time. That comes with wisdom. Because I move the same way. And what happens when you do that, if you're not always barking, always yelling, always complaining, the few times you do, it's respected more. They say, oh, he don't always complain. If he's complaining, it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's different. You know, if you choose when and when not to start arguing with people and make a scene and all that,
I'm hitting the age where people just dying. And the sad part is that we living and we trying to get to whatever it is God got planned for us. But too many people dying, and then, you know, they say rest in peace for 2 days and they don't even bring you up no more. Your own family, your own crew. You know, the other day, you know, a rapper had got killed. And the other day, you know, and when he got killed, we all rest in peace, everybody. And then the other day I was like, yo, they don't even talk about homie no more. Shit ain't been but a little bit of time. But meanwhile, we on this earth stressing everything. We think everything's a big deal. We think everything's yo, I gotta, you know, and then when you die, motherfucker forget about you in 2 days.
Quick, fast.
So why we even gonna bring our blood pressure? Why we even gonna take it there when this shit? It's all about happiness. Life is all about trying to find your happiness and what makes you happy, what makes your family happy.
Right.
You know, I see, you know, how happy you are with your son, and you got a daughter, you supposed to. You got a daughter coming in. That's your happiness, man. Try to create that space, that safe haven where you spend enough time with them to make you happy. You know, I got friends who chose their kids over money. You know, I have friends I used to beg, yo, let's get money. Let's do it. You smarter than me. Let's go. And they was like, nah, I just want to raise my kids, and money ain't important to me. So it's whatever makes you happy.
That's fine. Family is super important, and I feel like there's a lot of people in the industries that just, you know, they just move on with life, and, you know, a lot of these kids are yearning for that. So that's something that I pride myself in. I appreciate the way you do everything and the way you handle family, because as a Latino, it's something for me to look up to. It's something for me to admire.
It's also a pressure. You know what I'm saying? Because you try to, you know, I've been with my wife 29 years. I've been,
now that's hard.
That's
ooh boy.
Yeah.
Especially when you a fly nigga like me, man. Crazy out here.
You're right.
Nah, but it's just like, you know, and I try to, you know, be as righteous as possible, you know, and take care of my family and take care of my moms, my pops, everybody. But you know, it's everything ain't just, you know, 100% easy.
Yeah. So,
you know, it's hard to keep that role model image, that clean cut image, because everybody human, everybody make mistakes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, is it done? Is Papoose and Remy over?
Yo, you gotta stop. As far as I know, no.
Okay.
As far as I know, it's one happy couple. But that's me, you know.
Yeah, I know this is obliged to be going crazy. Yeah, because I know you got a great relationship with Remy, and it's
my sister to the end. know what I'm saying? Till the wheels fall off.
Shout out to everything she's doing. She's killing it right now.
And because of how much love she got for her husband, she made us love him. You know, so we love him. He's in my house all the time. We treat him like a brother. We treat him like, he don't come around us and feel like he's with Remy's people. He feel like he's 100% knows that niggas would jump out the window with him. Yeah. Like, you know, 1,000,000%. He's with the terror squad. Something happens to him, everybody's flying through the window. Like, everybody's going, like, he's family.
And it says a lot because it didn't start off the best. You know what I'm saying? So it says a lot to where you stand.
You gotta stop. Yo, who gave him that? Yo, stop talking. You talk in his ear. He said, yo, I gotta get to the bullshit. Yo, you been so nice, man. My man, somebody turned him up and said, Wendy Williams. Go. Yo, somebody, Wendy Williams 101, man. Fuck him. Fuck him on the way out. Jam him up.
Yeah, dead ass though, because it really is. It's huge to see. Like you're a real ass motherfucker at the end of the day, and to be, a lot of people aren't even willing to be like that. You know what I'm saying? To sit there and like, that's family.
Papoose
now.
never had no real problems, bro, at all. He's family. You know what I'm saying? He's my brother. He's family. He loves my sister. She loves him. I'm the father. They God, daughter. I don't do fake, bro. If I'm not fucking with you, by now you should know there's no terror squad reunions. Okay. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. I don't fucking care about you. Like, I don't care. Like, if I love you, and that's that. That's how I rock.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's how it is. Terror squad to the death. But
right.
So I want to know at the end of the day where you stand.
Give me your next one.
No. You got
to guard up.
This is the real shit. This is the real shit. Where are you at in your scale of what you want to get accomplished? Out of a 1 through 100, where do you feel like you are at right now currently?
Truthfully, 30.
Wow.
30%.
That means I'm at a 1.
No. It's because, you know, I came in this game with some guys. So, let me just explain this to you so it won't come, because you guys are like sensitive out there, right? It's God first.
Amen.
And so I'm a God-fearing guy. I give all the glory to God. Jesus is Lord. Amen. And I'm a very, very spiritual guy, right? Then there's family. Health is in there somewhere, and after that is money, big money. And so when I was coming up in the game, I wanted to be the realest dude ever, be 50 guys with me, be the best rapper, whatever. All the fucking dumb shit we ever could do in the world, we did it, right? And so I got late to the money game, right? And so guys that I came in the game with, you know, I used to sell drugs. They used to look at me and my chains like iced out like they never seen them before. Became fucking 100 million billionaires. All I'm there. They know when they met me, they was looking at me like, oh shit, but they got to the money. They started the brands. They started the liquors. They started the clothes. They started the this. They started the that. They beat me to the bag. You know, and I would be lying to you because some people try to tell you they don't care about money. I super care about money because I like fly shit. My family like fly shit. We live like Little House on the Prairie. You know, my daughter's 17, driving shit men been trying to get for the last 40 years. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Different.
And so I'm making a great amount of money, and I've always have, but I want that. You know what I mean? I want you, a guy who looked at the Big Pun and Fat Joe, to be able to also say, you see how he rocked them? You see Joe got them 300, 400, 500 M's. I want you to put that besides my name too. Rapper, actor, executive producer, 500 of those.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, you know that. Don't miss out on the sounds right there.
You get what I'm
Hell
saying? Because
yeah.
right now it's like, yo, Joe look good. He look fly. He get money. We know he a businessman. This. Did he really run it up? No, he's trying to really run it up, like on another level. I'm trying to get that other shit, that Oprah money.
Yeah.
I'm not lying to you. That's it. Now, if I came back to you in 3 years, 4 years with that Oprah money, I'd be like, yo, it's like an 85, 90. I'm good, P.
You get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
Yeah, I come back with that, yo, I'm good. Yo, life is incredible.
Yeah.
You know, so
But it shows the hustler you are. At the end of the day, it shows the hustler you are.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. I've been hustling since I'm 14, getting to the bag, holding down 20, 30 guys since I'm 14 years old, paying for dinner since I'm 14 years old.
Money.
I've been hustling. I hustle when nobody want to hustle. You know what I'm saying? I told a story that people don't understand, right? So where I got most of my money from in the Bronx was a 10-block radius, and you could just call that the Wall Street of drugs, right? And so one time they threw out a drug that was killing the fiends, right? So say the fentanyl, but on 10,000, right?
Oh, shit.
Where the National Guards, which is the Army, literally, there got to be a way to fact check this, right? The guard, you remember this, Raul? They had the Army on the corners, right? Then they had men, the cops was going through in like the floats. Don't take such and such dope. Don't take people dying. Yo, did. And you know, the drug dealers, when it's heat, what they say, don't get it hot because you can't make no money. So with Army on this corner, Army on this corner, Army on this, I'm still the only guy in a 10-block radius. They might have had 1,000 hustlers that had the nerve to still run outside in front of the building, get off 500 bundles, you know, run back upstairs, boom, before the cops know what's going on. This. 3 hours later, come back out, hand to hand. Yo, this, and I was a boss. Like, yo, I need it, Papa. And you know, we going to the club that week, nobody popping bottles, nobody fly. I'm popping bottles. I'm fly, so I'm an aggressive guy. I don't know how to be not aggressive when it comes to getting to the paper. Right. But, you know, that's it. That's about it. Otherwise, you know, my legacy's great. We did a lot. You know what I'm saying? We still, you know. You might not, because you're you might not be able to understand how much you're appreciated out there because you know, you're active. Yeah. You know, I mean, you're still working. But trust me, there's a lot of us that truly appreciate what you've done, who you are for the culture, and the entire Latino community all across the world. We know who the fuck Fat Joe is. I need you guys when it's time to vote for me. Yeah, there we go. Let's go. He don't miss nothing. Yo. This is vote for me. Yo, Fat Joe, I don't want to keep you all night, but I really truly appreciate you for coming through. Yo, I want to make notice that your camera for somehow hits you right on, and it makes you look like Buffy and like you stocky. This camera hits me from under, giving me the fat Joe. Oh, I'm really not that fat. like you gotta be. Can someone put the camera? You know how when they take a selfie, they put it up there. Can somebody just come on? Y'all been fucking me all show. Yeah, look how skinny I'm getting. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it, man. God bless, man. God bless you and your family. God bless you. I appreciate you. Hip-hop is signing out. Come on. Like, subscribe, do your thing. No, that was a legendary. Hello. It's going viral, man. We said something.